Ask your bank for a Verve card today. Verve, the rewarding way to make payments.
The Grapevine on the Smooth Breakfast Show.
Oh my.
Let me see. Oh my.
The song?
Sorry?
The song?
No, this is how dramatic I am. Oh, please don't mind me.
They wear your glasses for God's sake.
Oh, see, yeah, it's not just. I don't know why you don't wear your
I
glasses.
see
Those
this
glasses
struggle.
doesn't do anything
This
for me.
struggle
Trust
has
me.
been eternal.
I thought, okay.
It's just very strange behavior.
Okay. We're good.
The rewarding way to make payments.
Alrighty, Lagos, you're welcome back. If you just joined us, you are just in time. It's time for the Grapevine 981 on Smooth 98.1. It's a part of Smooth Breakfast with Ayo Mairo Ese.
And Kayode Baker.
Happy Independence. And of
Happy
course,
Independence Day, Nigeria.
Lagos, you know what to do to be a part of the conversation. But before we tell you what to do, we have very special guests in the studio.
Yes, you heard her voice a few minutes ago during Freshly Pressed 91, and we promised that she'll be here with us for Grapevine 91. And because we keep our promises, she's here. Thank you so much, Folu Storms, for
Hey,
staying back.
Lagos. Good morning again. Yes, you should really thank me. They ambushed me this morning.
Honestly,
that's what happened.
thank you
That's
so
what
much.
happens.
Thank you. Really grateful. Double whammy this morning. It's Independence Day and it's raining cats and dogs. So thank you so much. And with Folu Storms, we really appreciate you. Delphinator.
What's up, people? Happy Independence Day.
Thank you for coming. And thanks for wearing the green.
Yes,
I really,
yes,
you know.
yes.
So let's say Kayode is the balance. He's wearing the white. So we have the green, white.
We like
green.
it. We like it.
All right.
Lagos, please get your messages in 0809-444-0981. That's where you can send them to. Also, we're streaming live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/smooth981fm. And finally on Twitter, we're at smooth981fm. Use the hashtag grapevine981 so we can track your messages as the show progresses. So first things first, we'll showcase the set of songs we have for you today. They're music videos, basically. First one is from Adekunle Gold. Well, we saw the video a few minutes ago, but we'll play the song and then, of course, we'll get to talking about it just in a little bit. So stay close, guys. Okay, so that's Adekunle Gold's Young Love. And I think there are a few reactions in the studio already as we speak. Delphinator, what do you think?
I love it. I know that it's kind of like a departure from what he normally does. There's a bit
Is
of,
it?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, it sounds a little poppy to me.
Mhm.
Although the horns still balance it out and brings it back to Niger flavor, Afrobeat, you know. But I think it's slightly different from what we normally hear from Adekunle Gold. But I love it. I totally love it. There's his own thing inside of it, even though it's a different sound, but it's Adekunle Gold. You can still see his imprint on it. Yeah.
And how about the video?
The
What do you
video
think
is the
about
lyrics video.
Yes,
The
the
lyrics
lyric
video.
Yeah, it's cute. Somebody mentioned something about the young lady having a very obvious forehead that kind of seems similar to Simi's. I'm like, you guys are so
That person
observant.
should calm down now.
Honest, I mean, like when I was watching that video, I was just looking out for Simi's features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's cute. I did think it was a cute video. It's a cute song. It's nice. Shout out to Sess. I didn't realize that he'd also produced this one as well, and he produced the last song as well. Kilegbe Megbe. I think that's how you say it.
Kilegbe
Yes, that's the one. But it's cute. Yeah, it's alright.
Aya, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a nice song. I thought I could hear a bit of Kelegbe Megbe at the beginning. Now I can see why. Probably because it was from the same producer. So it had, so at the beginning, the intro, the sound at the beginning, I felt I could hear it. And you know, there's one sound with Kelegbe Megbe. Yeah, I thought I heard that there. But I think Adekunle Gold is very much in love at this moment because all the songs he's been putting out is about love. I think that's what he's been doing anyway for
Yes, for a while now.
Love, and Simi has just taken it to the next level. So yeah, Young Love. I love the words. Where as we were listening to it earlier today, and lyrics. You know, take it to my heart.
Yes, that's true. That's
So
true.
yeah, I really like that he puts effort into that. The video. Sometimes I feel that we're getting to that point where artists begin to save money by just putting out visualizers.
As opposed to regular
right.
videos.
Yes, because it actually engages. So for
It's
instance,
working.
Lyric videos to me always win because,
Yeah.
especially if an artist has put in work into writing that
Yes,
song.
yeah.
Because what you would have dismissed before is just, oh, whatever this
Yeah.
beat doesn't really get my attention. That's
Yeah.
where the words like come in. So
Yeah.
the lyric video actually is a very powerful tool,
I
especially if
agree.
you're trying to build super fans.
But
Yeah.
the
So
that we
challenge
can
with
sing
lyrics
along.
videos,
yes, exactly.
the challenge I have with them is that they're not good enough yet. And
This
the
one
reason-
was this one was
Oh,
great.
no, this one was great. This one was great.
And this is what we're going to start seeing. We're going to see more and
Yeah.
more of
Hopefully.
this type of
Yeah.
lyric
Thanks
video.
to Joe Boy. He's
That
really like
was
Yes.
what it was Joe Boy's.
Yeah.
I think Joe Boy's visualizer was actually probably more popular than
Than
the
the
And the
actual
actual video, yeah.
People actually doing they started the dance challenge. Did you
Yeah,
see it?
yeah, I
The
saw
girl
that.
it was so funny. So we're getting to that point, and I'm happy because we talk about the amount of money for particularly
put out a
emerging
video.
artists, to put out a video to promote yourself. So the fact that you can actually have a platform like YouTube, free platform, people can go on there, and now you can actually produce videos hopefully cheaper. Then it means that we'll start to see even more talented people coming out, despite the fact that they have some, financial constraints. Great one.
All right, let's listen to the second song. This one's from Phyno. It features Davido. I was going to say Olamide. I don't know why.
Please, respect people.
It features Davido and it's called Ride.
It's actually called Right For You.
Ride for you. Okay, it's titled right here. Okay.
No.
Right for you.
Hey. Okay, he had to bring in the spare parts inside that one. Ha. They say that there are two for me personally. Before I come, two languages for love: Igbo and French.
Really?
Really?
You want French?
I didn't know that too.
I love that. Do you know what? I actually understand why you would say that. I think that Eastern men are some of the most romantic people on earth. Like
Wow,
they're
yeah.
so focused. Even the way they toast, so baby. I just, like it actually is inherent in who they are. So fair enough. I get that. That's dope.
Yeah. So this song was produced by serial hitmakers, So Large, and directed by Clarence Peters and Patrick Ellis. So we
No
have a video.
surprises there.
and we have,
I was bored. I was bored. Like we've seen this so many times. I don't know whether it's putting both Clarence and Patrick together that maybe caused like just do what she wants to do. I don't know what it was. But there was nothing that really excited me about this video. But I mean, it's an okay song. It's a song that you'll dance to. It'll be at weddings. They know what they're doing. They're really good at what they do. And I think it's just Phyno also reminding us that he does have an album out, which I think actually is pretty decent as a body of work. I just wish I spoke Igbo so I could really, you can really saturate yourself.
Yeah.
It was being said. And David obviously is singing in Igbo in this as well, which at first we were all shocked by, and they were like, Chioma,
Yeah.
so cute, bro. So shout out to them, but this one is not. It's I wouldn't be breaking my neck to go watch this again.
Sadly, I agree with Folu. The video was not eye-catching in any way. There was nothing that caught my eye.
It was regular.
It was regular, except the one girl who had low cuts. I thought
Yeah,
that was
because she's a
interesting.
dancer from GGB, showing the GGB dancers.
Yeah,
That's
that was
it.
the only thing that stood out to me in the video.
Yeah.
Davido singing in Igbo, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, the comment section is riddled with, "Oh my God, Igbo, Davido, Igbo, oh my gosh!" And then they're like that Davido just made a song for his traditional wedding.
Yeah.
That's about to happen. So-
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another angle.
So
What
yeah,
is the song?
outside the fact that the song is great, I also don't like the video. But you know what? It's clean. It's those kind of videos that you can watch over and again. But then again, it's boring, like you mentioned. And I think we've seen a bit of repetition from Clarence Peters. And I don't know, the collaboration with Patrick Ellis, I would expect that, it would be super dope
Something more.
because of that. But, well, I guess we just love the song for the song and not for the video.
I half suspect that maybe they asked Patrick Ellis to start something and there was an issue and they got, because it doesn't feel cohesive. It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
these two great videographers got
Uh-huh.
together or creative minds got together and were like, yo, let's create this video. This is what they came up with. This does not look like that.
Okay, let me
No.
now infuse some conspiracy theory right there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
when you have two great minds coming together and there's a clash of egos, or I want to do this, and then you don't achieve something great because someone thinks it should go this way and
Yeah.
you think this is my signature, it should go this way, and then we end up with
You see,
not-
but that's why I feel like it wasn't down to Patrick and
and
Clarence. It was the owner of said video. I said, yeah, come on, you must. And they were like,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
So many cooks.
Well, so for me, Davido speaking Igbo, I actually think that he's fast becoming a Romeo in the music industry in Nigeria. A few years back, I won't see Davido and see him as a symbol of love. But now he's like, this guy can keep
Good
Chioma.
PR.
He's singing Chioma, my lover.
Is it terrible? The cynical part of me in my brain is just like,
Yes.
I'm waiting for the next phase of his music because it doesn't end at the wedding, bro. Let's see.
No, yeah, great. I mean, great for Phyno. Phyno can do no wrong for many people, so I think he will still pass, and then you listen to the rest of it. Have you listened to the album?
I did listen to it. It is a hip hop album. It does have elements of this as well scattered through it, but that's how you eat. Like I said, I do wish I understood Igbo a bit better so that I could sink into it, because I think you do get lost, especially if it's a rap album. You have to remember that it's very lyrically heavy and bass. So after you hear a beat for a bit of time, if you don't understand what's being said or you can't follow along, it may lose you. But I think it's definitely worth listening to. It's a pretty dope album.
Okay. So Cruz says on WhatsApp that like the band said, love is a beautiful thing. Adekunle Gold is enjoying his own love and flashing us with his music. We are not just jealous.
Sounds like you are, Cruz. Okay, so let's talk about MI and also Vector. And basically, they've been going back and forth. Social media has gone crazy. Just to put this out there, I'm Team Vector, although I love MI too, but right now. So basically, after the drama that Vector unleashed with the subpar The Purge, he returns with a hit on one of, and he takes no prisoners, basically. That's what the article was saying. He calls this track Tetracycline. So we listened to that just a few minutes ago. And you know what, let's ask Folu first. What do you think about
I actually want to know what Delphi thinks about this, because I've said this before about another artist and people thought I was joking when I said it, and I said it about Kanye. I'm going to say it about Vector. Guys, pray for Vector. Let's look up for Vector. Because I know it sounds funny, and I'm not saying it to be funny, but I'm a bit surprised. Like, where's all of this coming from? Why are you suddenly attacking someone who's been minding his business, doing his work, carrying along, who by any measure of success has far outstripped you? There's been and it makes me feel for Vector, who I love. I think he's a dope rapper. But I do understand that, or from what we can see, I mean, I don't know his personal life, right? It doesn't feel like his rap career has been as successful as he would have liked to.
True.
He's good at dropping individual tracks that sometimes may make it, but when it comes down to full bodies of work, he doesn't have popular enough songs that get him the bookings, the jobs, the things that you would want. And so now you've resorted to what I think are pretty cheap tactics of finding the biggest, it's like prison, behavior.
Yeah.
Let's find the biggest guy in the yard and try and take him down. And I'm like, and on the other hand, you have MI, who is, not only has he run a record label, is starting all these businesses, is going around the world, he's negotiating a Warner deal. I mean, the levels are a bit hectic. So when I now hear what Vector has to say, especially the first track that wasn't that great, nor was Tetracycline great either, to be very frank with you. And it just makes me feel like, you know what? Like, somebody taught, like, yo, bro, what's up? Are you okay?
But isn't that what rap is about? Rap is about, attacking each other. I remember the last time we had MI
No,
here,
rap is not about attacking each other. Battle rap
is about attacking each other.
Now, this is not battle rap. This is just, you just woke up and you were like, well, let's do this. And then I know that as a follow-on, for those of you who don't know, he then went to CCX and went to order a bottle of competing alcohol brand, which they sell there.
Okay.
I mean, to do what? That's why I'm like, we're laughing and it's like entertainment for us. But when things are tough, in this industry, we don't talk, in this society, we don't talk about mental health issues. We don't talk about challenges. Can you imagine what it must be like to be a rapper with that much talent and that much greatness in you and feel like people are not recognizing and you're really not getting to the place? People are looking at you like, okay, you're almost 40, bro. Are you feel that you successful? What's going on? And I'm just being real here. And I know people will hear this and they'll be like, yo, but I'm giving you 100. That's food for thought.
Yeah.
Pray for Vector. I said it about Kanye. Everyone laughed at me. Okay, you're not here doing good. They laughed. They're like, oh, come off. I was like, this guy's heading for a mental breakdown. You think it's a joke. They're like, oh, it's Kanye's attitude. I said, okay, let's watch. And what happened? He had this issue. Who's supporting Vector? Like, who's really there to say, bro, what's up? What's the plan? What are we doing?
Kayode, I actually want to know why you're supporting Vector.
Okay, so for the longest time, I like MI, right? Just to put that out there. But for the longest time, I've loved Vector. And I had a few conversations because I met him a few times. And you know, he sounds like a very good guy, you know, and like Folu mentioned, he has a lot of talent.
Yeah,
But
so
it's just that
intelligent.
it just seems as though the talent, I mean, the single tracks have been there, but the album has not been
Yeah.
there. So, you know, I see the talent, but that's why I said I love Vector.
Yeah, but in this case, though, in this particular case where he released this track,
Yeah.
because
No, you know this,
Vector.
that's why I said
But-
about rap music, right? You have to pick a side. Because I like Vector,
Oh,
I picked
okay.
this
Right.
side. So that's
Okay,
it.
I got you.
But I find the whole thing just odd. Why would you just wake up and just decide
That's how
to
I felt.
target someone and
Yeah.
then just
Although let me just say that going back to the parent, it wasn't just Vector. So people like Vader was on that track as well, and that had to do with Black Bones. So you know, Black Bones is under 100 Crowns, that is affiliated with the Chalk City Empire, and
Yeah.
Black Bones has been the most obnoxious new rapper ever. It is the most entertaining thing. He put out a song called "Best Rapper in Africa," and a lot of people took this thing so personally as well
Wow.
because
Take it
he
personal.
is audacious,
I like
he's
that.
funny, and he really doesn't take anything personally because he's young and has nothing to lose. He is like MI when MI first started rapping, where it's like, haha, come at me, bro. I battle rap for fun, you know? And I think some of the younger rappers took that personally and so got together with Vector, and so that's part of the purge story. So let it not be out of context, like he
Yeah.
just woke up. So I think it was
also remember that MI released a song recently. I can't remember the name of the song about him being that there's no one to match him or something like that. What's the name of
Fix
that?
Up Your
that
Life.
was ages ago. Fix Up Your Life. That was in his body of work, and that was the only single that was released from that album, Young Denzel.
Yeah, but how long ago was this?
that was a year plus
Yeah,
now.
but
So you
maybe
think
it's
they're
been-
responding to that?
So there's a build up. No, it's not just that.
But wait,
There's
it's
a
too
build
far.
up. So how dare
No,
you
wait,
say?
Ayo,
Because
it's
I
too
took
far.
it personal.
Yeah. No, I understand that, you know, but even when you listen to MI's album, the last album, A Study on Self-Worth, I think it is going to be an album that for literally decades people will listen to and talk about how it references mental health, how it references masculinity, recognition of ourselves. Like it's such an involved album. It's so deep in its scope that Fix Up Your Lives is just it's the spotlight to say, yo, yes, I know I'm saying this, but let's really consider what's happening. Because look at what's been happening in South Africa. Rappers have been on their game consistently. Nigeria, the rap game fell off a little bit, and I feel like it was last
Not a
summer.
little bit, we're still there.
Yeah, no, it was last summer that it came back. Oh, please, rap was quiet. Nobody was doing.
No, I mean, I've
agree.
not heard it come back the way,
No.
you know.
Last summer we had a bit of ginger that came through. There were quite a few people that dropped projects. Ladipo dropped a project. I'm sure them Camp dropped a great project. MI dropped a project. Loose Kid and the AQ dropped a project. Black Bones dropped one. So it was the small insults that they were insulting people that helped the industry.
Yeah,
to
maybe
come
that's
back.
even part of the whole thing. Who knows? What if this thing is all planned? What if it's a thing to just boost both people's careers? I don't know.
It's not planned, but it will boost both their careers.
Yeah.
And I
Yes,
think
it
for Vector, that's the whole plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Lagos, let's get your thoughts in. Don't forget it's 0809-444-0981. Let's go on a quick break.
You ever been on your way to an event you considered important?
VEC.
There's so much traffic that you begin
Such an
to
intelligent
ask
guy.
yourself, what am I looking for?
But
Life can be stressful sometimes.
so the
Stuff just hits you
music.
and makes you weak.
Let's
Sometimes
see.
it's
This
not
is
even
here,
necessarily
45.
that bad. It may just be that you are tired, sad, a little exhausted, or just worn out. On those days, when everything has been somehow, the next thing to go wrong hits you hard. Even if it's just
It's Judith, when everything has
you
been
just
somehow.
want to scream, oh, I can't. I just can't anymore.
Oh my
In that
God.
moment, you lose your
My
thunder.
data is
You feel
disappearing.
like it's the end. You can't push further.
You
It
guys,
happens
isn't
to
data
even
going to get
best
better in
of us.
Nigeria? Like free.
Sorry?
I said we need more free data in Nigeria. Like
Yes, we do.
You should
the
just
way
get a
my
binge
data
plan.
evaporates
Same here,
is
like,
just
2 days.
wild.
You should get a binge
Gone.
plan then.
Get a what?
Binge plan.
What's a binge plan?
So, okay, for example, if you're using Airtel and you're maybe paying 1.5 for maybe 1.5 gig, you can do a binge plan. It's 350 for 1 gig, and one gigabyte will probably get you halfway a lot of what you need in a day. That's for your phone. So binge plans are better. They're cheaper in the long run if you're doing a lot of work.
I'll look it up. I look it up.
Life is not so bad after all.
Of these life,
Some
pot of
things
beans.
work all the time, like the ease and reliability of making payments with your birth card. That's what celebrates it.
This ad is
That
so
no matter
slow.
what we go
So
through,
slow and
Boring.
Yeah,
It's
why is she
boring
speaking
ad.
so slow?
No, but that's what they want.
Really?
No one wants to drag it
I
out.
want people to hear what they're
That's,
saying.
ladies and gentlemen,
But they
is
lose
how we
people.
get
It
our
Yeah,
has to
like-
be the right tempo. If not, people will get tired. I can't even remember. The
And
first
it's just
part of
also the
it-
background music is
Yeah.
just.
Come back ready. Hook up with something that always works. Ask your bank for a Verve card. It will come in handy every day.
Are you sure?
www.myverveworld.com. That is www.myverveworld.com to discover the reliable awesomeness a Verve card offers. Your song. Your playlist. Here on Smooth 98.1.
This happens on a normal day.
Welcome, sir. How much fuel, sir?
3,000 naira. But this is what happens when you buy fuel of 3,000 naira and above and pay with your Verve card at select Owando filling
What
station.
happened?
Welcome, sir. How much fuel, sir?
3,000 naira. Here's my Verve card. Madam, wait. I said 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira. You are going to put an extra 5 liters. Who will pay for it?
It's your reward, sir, because Verve is celebrating its 10th
This is
anniversary.
extra 5
This was the one this thing was talking about. We were just talking about.
Pardon?
This is 10th anniversary.
Yeah,
This
but I
is
think this was when he said there was another one.
Visit select Owando filling stations nationwide.
Kayode, you moved the what's it called?
What's that?
What to expect?
Extra 5 liters.
You
Yeah.
didn't take it.
Oh, I didn't know we used to take. We started doing that.
Oh,
I thought
yeah,
that was what I was
that's it.
asking. That okay, which one do you want to take?
Oh, okay. It's
Should we go back to that?
Well, no, we don't have to, because we have stories.
Okay, we can wrap up with that.
Okay.
Hmm?
Put something in your bag.
Okay.
Oh, the mental gymnastics are better. Oh,
Mindful.
Oh
I like
my
this.
goodness.
as in, no, I like Eva Johnson too. I like her as a
What's that?
person.
Eva Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool. What happened to her rap career?
she put out a poetry album last year.
Really?
She went back to school too.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Lagos, you're welcome back. If you just joined us, you haven't missed too much, but you've missed quite a bit. This is the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1, and so far we're talking all about entertainment stories that are making rounds all across the globe. We've got very special guests as well. We've got Folu Storms
Hey.
and also the Delphinator.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so Lagos, let's talk about Kanye West, shall we?
Kanye.
So he's got a brand new, well he's got a gospel album that's in the works. It's called Jesus is King, and well, it says here that it no longer has a specific release date, and this is according to TMZ. Initially, it was supposed to be out September 30. His wife, Kim Kardashian, said it was going to be out September 27th. Then she said it was going to be out 29th. But because Kanye says the album is in the works, so it has no specific release date. But how do we feel about Kanye's gospel album in general?
I'm excited because Kanye does good music. That's the reality. Kanye West creates good music. Now, the content of his music can be debatable, as I felt about the last album, which I refused to listen to excessively because it had certain elements of toxicity. I felt that I was like, no, I don't want to even subconsciously put this in my brain. I don't need it. That's not what I want. But we had seen little clips that had come out where he was, with gospel choirs and whatnot. And that's exciting. I think that's a great place for him to even be emotionally and mentally. I think when you are trying to be elevated and lifted and you're going to create a whole project, you're spending time working on something like that, I think it will be pretty exciting and pretty excellent. The question is, I guess, when it's going to be released. I guess he doesn't owe anyone a release date,
He
really.
doesn't?
No,
He owes his
Where are you
fans.
going to
He's moved the date twice.
this is me. Doesn't owe anybody a release date. That he gave you release dates is the problem. That's why he took it back.
True, yes. Why did you even put it out in the first
That was
Such a
the issue.
drama king.
That was the
Gosh.
issue. But that's what they say about art, and anyone, and you can come across any creative person, and that's a struggle that a lot of creative people have, like actually letting go of it at some point. It's never really completed. It's just abandoned, and at some level we all know what that struggle is like. But it is true, if you do open your mouth and say that this is going to come out on a date, you really should follow through. But
Exactly.
when you're Kanye, you're going to buy it anyways, so it doesn't matter.
I don't know. If it's gonna sound like Jesus Walks, the first, you remember the first Jesus?
Mhm.
I think it would be nice. But Kanye has evolved into many things, dark twisted fantasy,
Yeah.
and I don't know what. Regularly, gospel albums, some gospel albums are played in church and gospel spaces.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how Kanye's gospel album will be received in some certain circles.
But that's what they like when Snoop Dogg put out his gospel album, he was heavily criticized. And what I find so interesting about things like that is salvation is not for the already saved. That we wake up and you want to judge people and point fingers. We're all going through things. Everybody's struggling. I think it's beautiful if somebody wakes up and decides that, you know what, this is the direction I want to put out music in. And I don't think it's ever going to be a question of, is Kanye going to put out good music? I'm yet to hear a completely trash Kanye song, but I could be mistaken. Please refresh my memory just in case you have it out there.
As much as I agree with what you're saying, Folu, I was also giving you guys side eye. Like, is this thing for real?
I'm still giving you.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
still...
is it true? Are you being honest, or this is another gimmick, another scheme for numbers? We all know that Kanye is about the numbers.
Also,
like, there's always
Kardashian.
drama before an album release. It's his MO, like modus operandi. This is something he has done time and time again. So I'm just like, let's give it time. Let's see where this whole gospel thing goes. Time will tell. That's what I think about.
Same here. I totally agree with you. You're in the middle. Let me sit in your middle. So on one hand, yes, salvation is for those who need saving.
Yes.
So anyone can have access to it, irrespective of what anybody else says. However, it is Kanye, and so I'm a bit like, even the Sunday, that kind of like, it's Kanye West, because Kim is not even looking at that side of his life. Kim is focusing on her focus, and so I don't know, maybe I look forward to seeing the album because he came out with Jesus Walks, remember? And everyone thought, people say, brother in the Lord. And then the next song came out.
No, you see, that's why you people got it twisted.
Jesus Walks was not a gospel
thank
song.
you. You people got it twisted.
They just
by
heard
yourself.
Jesus. I thought it
And
was
you
a
got
gospel
hyped.
song.
Wait, we had Jesus Walks with me.
Yes, because the devil's trying
but-
and it's true.
It is, but
Yeah.
if you listen to the lyrics, it
Yes.
is not a gospel song.
No,
Alright.
it is just a song about someone who's going through things, and that's
Yeah.
why I think it will resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because if there's anyone that has seen life, inside life,
Yes, yes.
Kanye West is inside life.
Ooh.
So what is going to say? You're going to want to hear it, whether you agree, different.
Okay, so let's appeal to him to please give us a date at least, or give us a time frame between here and here would be great.
Or just do like Beyonce, just drop it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No
Exactly.
too much talk.
Exactly.
Just drop it.
Chiedu Onobu says concerning both rappers, so going back to Vector
Vector
and
and
MI, concerning both rappers though, Sai, I love both of them, Sha, but I believe it's all for the music and the business. Happy Independence Roll. Thank you so much, Chinedu. And let's go on to Ghana. Let's take a trip to Ghana. So actor John Dumelo has been called out for holding waist of University of Ghana students. Please, can we tweet this waist holding picture? Because people will not understand. If we're just saying. So he's been called out by Twitter users after he was pictured holding the waist of a student of the University of Ghana. So just to see why it's a big deal, apart from the fact that he's an actor, he recently was elected as NDC parliamentary candidate for Ayawa Seoul Westward. So he's gone into politics. And as part of his politics move, he went to Ghana during their matriculation on Saturday and posted pictures, inspirational man and all that. So, put you people should please describe this picture.
So essentially, he's hugging. You know when you take pictures and you all place hands behind each other around the waistline? That's what's happened.
Well, unless there's something we're not seeing.
And as
Yeah.
I saw this picture, I just thought, I thought back to Nick Fest that just happened. That means I will just be arrested for touching people's mothers, children. Hey, this picture posing, like let's all stand together.
I think it's because of this whole Me Too movement. Time's up. There's all this drama about molestation and stuff like that. I think that guys are being like super careful these days. I mean, look at Keanu Reeves and Will Smith. They are the kings of hover hands. Have you guys heard of hover hands? Like they literally do not touch anyone. They hug you like from the side, but their hands don't touch you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
a
wild.
thing. Yes, and it's just wisdom.
It's precaution.
Yeah, as a man, I think because of what's going on now, I think it's just be like Kanye. I mean, like Keanu and Will Smith.
So some of the things people have said, just in case you're on Twitter, someone said this picture is gross and predatory. My guy, remove your hand. You do all then predatory and gross. So a number of people have called it predatory, gross. People are asking him to break it. Like people are coming. It's not even simple. Like, guy, what's happening? It's like you're gross. You're being. And again, like I would say, please go on. I don't know if he's pulled down the picture or anything, but please go and check out that picture and tell us what you think, because I don't.
Maybe there's a backstory that
Maybe
we're
there's a
not privy
backstory,
to.
yes, because the way they came for him, you know, I know, of course, as a celebrity, you come under more fire than the rest, regular human folks.
Now, wow.
All right, Lakers, tell you what we'll do. Let's go on one more break. When we get back, it'll be the final stretch right here on the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
Predatory and gross. As somebody was just angry with him
As in,
and paid a couple of bots to tweet because I don't
it
understand
doesn't
it.
make sense.
Well, a small gathering with just a few people that matter, or something little to appreciate my personal person.
I want to get to you now. Oh, yeah, no, is Devo here?
I don't know.
No, please let him be sure.
Oh, Devo is supposed to come in.
It's supposed to come.
Has Devo answered you? That's what's going on.
Why should I woken him up?
Yes.
Yes. Woken him up.
You
It's
know.
raining, no.
You know. He'll just be like, is it time? Oh, let me off.
Yeah, I will come. I will be late.
Wait, nice. We need does it
Tell
seem
him
far
that
away?
he's here.
You should hurry, Devo. Character.
I think our last story should
Okay,
be
do Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash. I said Stacey.
Stacy.
What is that thing we
Stacey's
wanted to talk
mom.
about? Too? Things to look forward to.
Pardon?
We have, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if
we
we'll
have
have
to take
time to
one.
take that.
Should we take this one? This one?
No, Stacey. Let's do Stacey Dash.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, just mention Kiddominant because we're proud of him.
Kiddominant.
As in being signed on to
Sony Music West Africa.
Oh, that's great news.
Mention that, yeah.
We're in.
Love music, love life. You're listening to my news.
It is the Grapevine 91 here, brought to you by Verve, and we are with Folu Storms and
Good morning. Sorry.
and the Delphinator. All right, it's the final stretch for this morning, but before we go, we have to say congratulations to Nigerian producer Kiddominant, who has been signed. He's been signed on an exclusive music licensing deal with Sony Music West Africa. That's huge. So congratulations.
Hey, well done.
All right, so our final story, we want to talk about Stacey Dash, right? American actress Stacey Dash. Now, she shocked a lot of people when she got married back in 2018 to lawyer Jeffrey Marty, just 10 days basically after they met. Now, it's been revealed that there's trouble in paradise, and Stacey was arrested for domestic violence. The story goes on and on and on, but according to TMZ, they're saying that Stacey was arrested for domestic violence in Florida over the weekend, and the actress was reportedly found sitting behind bars basically because of the back and forth with her husband.
Yeah, so she called the police, and when the police arrived, they found that there were scratches on her husband, so they arrested her. Now, Stacey Dash's version of the story is that her husband attempted to choke her first, but when the police showed up, there were no signs of any kind of physical abuse on her, but there were on her husband, so she was arrested. They set bail at $500 US. I think it's an important story because we're in an age across different societies where women feel it's okay to attack. I first of all have to address that she said that he tried to attack her first, which it's very plausible. It could very well have been the case. And she luckily didn't bruise, which is unfortunate for her though, because that's what's landed her in jail. But I think that it's important to know that when we talk about domestic violence, domestic abuse, people always think of the male aggressor and the man attacking the woman. But there are many instances where the woman is the aggressor, where the woman is the instigator of violence. I think it is deplorable for anybody to raise their hands to anybody else. We teach our children this all the time, but for some reason as adults, women have got into this space where they're like, push his head, I slapped him. I'm like, yo, the minute you raise your hand in violence to anybody, it is all bets off as to what you are going to get back. I do not believe that men should hit women, but I'm telling you, because violence begets violence, whether you are male, female, or a donkey. Like a dog gets bitten by one dog is fights. If there's no male, female, whatever, that's not happening then. So as human beings, we ought to hold ourselves to higher standards and not attack. Like you really shouldn't, unless you are defending yourself, which Stacey claims that she was.
Delphine?
I totally agree with what Folu has said. So women are fighting for equality, and this actually applies to domestic violence as well.
Yeah, you get it.
Don't bite what you can't chew. Basically, like if you hit someone, they just might hit you back. So just chill. keep your hands in your pocket.
Yeah.
Just be
Absolutely.
careful.
Okay, let's take some comments before we have to wrap up the show this morning. MI from Akoka says, guess the Jesus walk. So going back to Kanye, guess the Jesus walks Kanye is going to make a comeback. The back and forth is most definitely intentional PR from the West.
Yep.
Don't know how the content will pan out, but I definitely agree that Jesus is king. Auntie Folu always tensioning us on the ground. Hey, now. All right, so we have Udi here. Udi, thanks a lot for your message. Just saying that he's not Team MI or Team Vector because he doesn't believe pulling another brother down to shine or rise is the best strategy to success, and you couldn't have put it
better way.
Thank you
True.
so much, Udi.
All right, so that's our show, Lagos. But there's more to come. Don't forget, in a few more minutes, it's going to be Lagos Talks 981. But before we let our very special guests go, you can find them on social media. You can find Folu Storms at Folu Storms.
And you need to go to the website www.folustorms.com. Podcast is up. New episodes are being recorded, and I'd really love for some of you guys to be a part of the podcast recordings. So just go to the website, and you will be able to send me a message, and you'll be shortlisted.
Thank you.
And
You can find me on YouTube, the Delphinator TV, new videos on there. Please subscribe, watch, all of that good stuff. I'm also on Instagram at the Delphinator.
Thank you very much. All right, Lagos, we're still here. Like we said, please keep us company on this rainy Tuesday morning, Independence Day celebration. I wonder what's going on with the March past for this morning because it's are you going to March?
They should.
I have no idea.
It's raining. All right, Lagos, we'll go on a break. When we come back at 9 o'clock, we have a special person joining us for Lagos Talks 981. Let's analyze and dissect the president's speech for today. Good morning.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
see you later, guys.
Thank you so much.